is, I think we see this a lot in our society, is men have that core belief that, you know, women only want this, so I'm going to do. And then because they do that, they feel almost entitled and a bit bitter about the fact that they've done those things.
Yes.
And then that makes them kind of resentful. And it's like, well, like, you know, well, I have to pay for the date, so do. And it's like, well, maybe we should just go halves on the date. Like,
most women don't do that though.
Yeah, but then that most woman isn't for you.
I get that. I think what it is, it's I agree. And you're absolutely right. There are guys who become something and they think, well, I've become this, and this to even attract you. And there can be a level of entitlement. Completely understand that. I think what it is, let's say like paying for the date, it's like guys will choose to do that, not because necessarily he wants to, but because it's going to build a certain impression that he wants to make. So like he wants the effect of what paying does, not necessarily because he wants to pay, because the truth is, if everybody could have someone pay for their life, they would. Right? So it's about, okay, I'm choosing something to do for you because I want to have the effect that it does. Is that wrong?
It's not wrong, but you should be doing it because you want to do it and not then use it as a transactional thing. Well, I did this, so you should do this.
What's the difference between using it as like a transactional thing and then asking for reciprocation?
Entitlement. So if you ask, you don't always receive.
Very true.
If you demand, then that's completely different. Like if you're like, look, I've paid for all the dates and I feel like we've had a really nice time, but I'm wondering where the effort is from you because I'm not seeing that.
It's like, a very good way to put it.
That's an opportunity for her to say da la 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 la, like this is how, or maybe think, oh well, I'll plan the next one. But if you're like I've paid for all the dates and you haven't had sex with me, then that's like not okay. Like do you know what I mean? Like I think there's a difference between an ask and a demand. And also like if you've offered to pay for all those dates, then that doesn't mean you get anything in return.
True.
Like
it's
if
true.
I buy someone a
that.
gift, like and you can take the information that you get and change your own behavior, but you can't demand the behavior from someone else. So say I bought someone a really thoughtful gift for Christmas and I had like researched what they love and I spent a lot of time and effort on this gift and I gave it to them, and then on my birthday I got something like a box of chocolates.
Yes.
Well, I could either be bitter and angry about that and say, well, why didn't you do this? Or I could just not put so much effort in next time. Like,
yes,
you can alter your own behavior and find someone who respects and like appreciates what you do for them and gives in return.
Yes.
Or you can get angry and bitter.
Yeah, 100%. It's almost that you get resentful at the comparison of the effort you've put into what they're putting in. But then if you match their effort, maybe you wouldn't be as resentful of it.
Yeah, and also like it's okay to be resentful at an individual, but not at the species, you know, not at women in general.
No, of course not.
Yeah, I think sometimes men will apply that experience to all women.
Yeah, I think... What, as in like, oh, I paid for everything, so you have to give me sex?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
I think
that's
I've
wrong.
had those comments like on Instagram, like and like, well, men like pay for everything. I'm like, actually, I pay for everything in my relationship. Like,
yeah, but you are an exception to the rule, though. That is not the majority of couples.
No, but like, let's just work on an individual basis and not.
I agree. No one should be entitled to anything. I think where that comes from with men is because, especially nowadays, it is very difficult to be desirable as a man today.
Really?
Yeah.
What makes you say that? What evidence have you drawn that from?
Several things. So if we look at, for example, just dating app statistics in terms of how many men get matches to how many women get matches, right? About 15% of men get 80% of the matches. And the majority, and 80% of men are matching with only like 15% of women. And you get a very small percentage of men matching with the majority of the women. When you ask women, for example, out of 50 random guys who would randomly approach you in a bar, maybe approach you on the street or even slide into your DM, how many of them do you look at and go, oh, I like the look and vibe of you enough that I'd go on a date with you? Most women say less than 5.
But this is because of how they are approaching it. Like, honestly, I have been on Tinder.
You don't think women have higher standards than men?
Yeah, I think women have higher standards, but I think it's because of the expectation of women in a relationship. As in the expectation women have. So, like, for example, right, as a woman, you generally, you know, most women have their own career, their own money now. Not only that, but they usually manage a lot of the household, the money, the children. They can do that. What is the man like actually bringing to his personality? He's a great guy. Exactly. So if I can look after myself better than most men can look after me, of course he's either going to have to have great chat, great personality, great looks, good money, or great dick, because why on earth else would I share my life with you?
Okay, like, I understand that, but the argument you just made is the exact argument men make. They're like, if I'm providing everything for your life so much to the point that you don't even have to work, yeah, you better fulfill these other things that I want.
I don't know one woman that doesn't have to work. I don't know one.
No, what I mean is, even if a woman is working, if she's with a man, it happens more often than not, he is bearing the majority of the financial burden.
Yeah, but she's bearing everything else.
What's everything else?
Oh my goodness. Like
instead of, let's say they haven't had kids, right?
So that changes things, because obviously I had kids young.
Of course.
But like, I think a lot of men are just grown up babies.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, they, you know, I'm gonna get so much hate for this.
Listen, I get hate, so like, go for it.
Like, you know, my partner, for example, I love him. I love the bones of him. But say I'm like, oh, could you just like, we're moving house, yeah?
Yep.
I'm like, could you please just organize the kids moving schools? Right, so if I was to organise the kids moving schools, I would Google the schools near the thing, search how to do the application, put in the information, blah, blah, blah. My husband will sit next to me and go, which school? Like, what's their date of birth? Like, can you send me my phone number? Can you send me my email? And I'm like, I may as well do it myself now. Like, and...
Yeah, but I think the irony is, though, like, you're saying men, that's just, no offense, but that's your partner.
But this is like the experience of most women.
Well, that a man doesn't know how to make a plan.
Yeah,
and do logistics.
Yeah, like the not that he doesn't know, but that she just kind of automatically does it. Or like, for example, like taking the bins out. He'll be, instead of just noticing that the bin is full and taking the bin out and putting a fresh bin in, she'll say, can you take the bins out? Can you take the bins out? Can you take the bins out? Oh, stop nagging at me.
So here's the thing, right? I'm not saying that doesn't happen. But you know, we were talking about the men who have reached a level of desirability and attractiveness. So let's say a man who, okay, like, this is my place, right? And I have a partner, okay? I'll do my own bins. I'll do my own laundry.
But this is what I mean. This is what...
So I'm not saying I'm necessarily this guy, but if you have a guy who's there, because we're talking about the guys who get to a point that they become desirable to many women.
That's why they're there.
Already doing that.
That's why they're desirable.
Okay, but here's the thing. You literally just said, if you're doing A, B, C, and D, then the guy has to be bringing good chat.
But that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Blah, 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 blah. Is that not entitlement?
No, I'm just saying that these 20% of men...
Yep.
are doing those things. Like, why would a woman want to baby someone?
No, but what I'm saying is, you said that's percentage of men you feel become entitled to demand certain things from their partner. And you literally just said if you were doing that,
I
you
don't
demand
think
certain
they
things.
necessarily do. I don't think that men. I think in general, there's like a bitterness from each side of what they're like. I'm not like anti the men, but I think there is from both sides, women and men, this kind of resentment and this bitterness. So, well, what are you giving me? Well, what are you giving me? Well, maybe we just need to be enough for ourselves and then come together.
I agree with you. I'm just saying the example of you with your husband saying you do A, B, and C, and D, right? And you're like, well, he's got to bring this, all this, all this. If I'm doing all these things, that's exactly what those men say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is what I mean. Like, this is what I mean. There's an entitlement and a resentment from both sides.
Yeah.
And maybe there just needs to be self-growth and acceptance as an individual. And then
So do you not think it's, so if a man has one of those guys, right, who's doing the most already, and he can happily invite a woman to his life and take care of her, do you think it's unreasonable for him to have expectations of her?
Okay, I'll put it this way. I don't think it's unreasonable to choose a partner that meets your expectations, but it is unreasonable to take a partner and then expect them to change if they don't want to. So pick your person that matches what you want in a person, rather than picking someone and then being like, I give this to you, now you need to do this.
So let's say you're probably gonna hate, why the fuck did I bring this up with my husband? with him like sorting like the kids' schools and stuff like that. Would you want him to be able to do that in the future, or are you happy accepting that he will never be able to do that? So
the way we work is I am happy for him to be exactly him, and I will obviously there has to be a fairness because we have children and we live a life together.
Sure.
But if there's things that he can't do, that's fine. But don't tell me you're going to do them and then don't do them. That's when I get cross.
I get that.
And that's why being poly works for us in certain ways, because, you know, he loves going hiking. I couldn't stand hiking. No. So he can have someone in his life that provides that, and we're not expecting each other to change. But if those things, like, for example, filling out forms, if he's not contributing in other ways that feel like our energy is matched in the household, then something needs to happen. Or if those things are things that he wants to do and wants to work on, then those things are going to happen. But if he's like, look, I can't do forms, but I can do this, that's fine.
I get that. I agree. I don't think you should ask someone to change. But I think people can grow in areas that maybe they've never chosen to grow in before. And sometimes, a lot of the times, relationships often hold a mirror for us. So we get into relationships with people and maybe something keeps coming up and go, oh wow, this is something about me that I guess I didn't realize. And I think I think it's important to make an effort to not just compromises, but also if your partner feels loved in a type of way. So like, for example, right? I'm notoriously bad at texting. Yeah. Right? Like, I'm really bad. And when I say it's got me into trouble before with previous girlfriends where they don't feel like I text enough. Like, I'm the type of guy, I'd rather have like a phone call on Tuesday and Friday than texting you every day, all day. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But some women love to have being communication every day, even if it's just touching base. Yeah. Right? Now, that's not naturally me, but I'll make an effort if I know that's how you feel love and affection. Yeah. Is that me changing, or is that me making an effort to serve the relationship?
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode where that clip is from, then I want you to click right here where you can watch the full episode. And if you're ready to claim your man today, enroll in my program below, and I'll see you there. Wishing you an amazing day.